Megan, one of the unfortunate outcomes of this is that it affects families, it affects communities, and we're losing our loved ones on a regular basis.
Yeah. So
thank you for being willing to talk to us today, and please do share your
story.
Sure.
So the song that you just saw was by John Prine, and John hadn't been in the studio for about 12 years before Max died, and he and Max were big friends, and he went back in the studio and wrote Tree of Forgiveness and dedicated the entire album to Max, and this song in particular, because what he talks about in that is the lament of every parent. You just want your child to come on home. So let me tell you about my child, and let me tell you about Max. Sadly, I am the face of one of the 72,000 families who had an opioid overdose in 2017. And that number is only increasing. So I want to tell you about Max. I want to tell you a little bit about my son, because I don't want his death to define his life. So you have to know a little bit about Max. Max was funny and sweet and smart. He drove us crazy. He made us smile, and he wasn't perfect. And his death didn't make him perfect. But he was ours, and he was our only. And he died when he was 22. Max's journey with drugs started as a casual drug user, much like you talked about. High school and college, he smoked pot, and it made him less anxious. But by the time he was a junior in college, he had a type A mom, for sure, who was busting his chops. He wanted to know what kind of an internship he was gonna get, what was he gonna do after graduation, and Max found Xanax, and that made him feel better. Max was addicted to Xanax very fast. It's a huge issue on our college campuses. But we knew our child was in trouble, and we were able to get him home after his junior year, and we had things that families out here don't have. 3 things. First of all, Max was willing to go to rehab because he knew he had a problem. Second, we had the money to pay for it. It cost $100,000 for a rehab bed. And there was a bed available. So his junior summer, Max went to rehab. And when he came out, he went back to his senior year in college. My husband talked to him every day because he was sure if there was something wrong, he would hear it in his voice. When Max graduated from college, we went out, we celebrated, and we thought our journey was done. Max started his way back to Nashville, and he stopped in Denver, Colorado. And I want to talk about July 29th. It was a beautiful Saturday in Nashville. We talked to Max a couple of times that day. He seemed fine, but tired. Later that afternoon, he texted me, "I love you, Mom." I texted, "I love you too." And that was the last correspondence I ever had with my son. Now it's about 7 o'clock, and my husband and I are going out for dinner. And I put my phone on silent, and I miss a call from Max. I don't know if I could have heard something in his voice, and I wouldn't be standing here today, but I didn't take that call. And now it is 8:15 in Denver, Colorado, and he is hanging out with friends on the back deck, and they are smoking and drinking and using drugs. They decide to go get something to eat, and they ask Max if he wants to go, and he says, "No, just bring him something back." They're gone 20 minutes. And when they come back, Max is having seizures. But these are 20-something-year-old boys, and they don't know what is happening. They don't know that Max is overdosing. They throw water on him. They hope that will help, but it doesn't. Finally, somebody has the wherewithal to pick up the phone and call 911, and the first responders are there very quickly, but it doesn't matter. They give him 2 shots of Noxiclon, but they don't even transport him because he's dead by 9:30. At 2 in the morning on July 30th, there is a knock at our door. At this time, I am the mayor of Nashville, Tennessee, so a knock on my door at 2 in the morning can mean only one thing: something really horrible has happened in my city. What I don't know is something really horrible has happened to my family. When I opened that door, the police officer said, "I'm so sorry, ma'am. Your son is gone." I made him say it 3 times before our world fell apart. We waited weeks to get the toxicology report. And let me tell you what Max had in his system. He had Xanax, which is a prescription drug. He had hydromorphone, which is a prescription drug. And he had methadone, which is a prescription drug. And he had a trace of cocaine. What I know is that Max did not have a prescription for any of those drugs. We are just one of the 72,000 families. And at Max's funeral, my husband said, the counterweight to grief is community. The counterweight to this epidemic is community as well. And I need all of you to step up and to hear my voice so that you can lend yours to this as well. Thank you.